name is Sarah. Welcome to the It's a Sarah podcast. Today it is Monday, April 1st, 2024, and this is episode 134. I'm coming to you from the Netherlands, so excuse my Dutchy English. I love to knit, I love to crochet, and I love to talk. So that's the perfect combination for making this podcast. I make my episodes in Dutch and in English, so be sure you pick the right one. Okay. Today I want to share my handwerk perikelen, my crafty adventures from this week with you. But before I will dive into that, I want to tell you a little bit more about what I'm wearing. Today it is second Easter day in the Netherlands. I don't know if you have that in other countries too, but we apparently like to celebrate some things for 2 days long. We have Christmas 2 days, Easter 2 days, and also Pentecost 2 days. So it's an extra day off, and that's really nice. And this morning yesterday was a very busy day with all family activities. Today we have an easy day at home, so that was really nice too. But I did put on my bright, colorful sweater this morning because I thought, oh, it matches with Easter and with the spring feeling, so that's nice. But it was so cold. It's a grey and quite cold day today, so I need an extra warm woolly layer. So I changed my colorful spring sweater for a warm woolly cardigan. Knitted in Let Lopi. This is the Oh Those Pops of Pink by Moll, and it's originally a sweater pattern, but I sticked it. It was my second colorwork project ever, and I can feel that because what I didn't know by then was how to choose the right size. So my sweater is, I guess, one size too small. It's a little bit narrow around the shoulders and around the arms, and I really feel that. I love a narrow fit, so that's nice, but it's actually a little bit too narrow. And also what I didn't know, and it absolutely affects the yoke too, is that it's a good idea to go up one needle size for your color work. Because it's tighter than knitting just stockinette in a round. So I didn't do that too. So there's not much stretch. It's quite a tight fabric, but it's okay. I still love the look. Later I added quite a big color, and that's really nice. And yeah, I love the colors, and I definitely want to make another one again in a one size bigger and other colors. So I am enjoying the warm woolly layer and my bright colorful spring sweater. I can wear that another time, definitely. Okay, I mainly knitted at one project this week, and that was the blue rabbit for my little niece. It isn't here anymore because her birthday was yesterday. But luckily I could find some time yesterday before we went to her birthday party to film a little part of the episode already. So I can show you the blue rabbit and the dresses and all the happiness, all the heart jumping parts when the rabbit was still around me. So let's go to that part. Hello! It is Sunday morning, Easter morning, and I normally never film on Sunday mornings, but this was my only moment I could show you my blue rabbit because it will leave my house within a few hours today. It will go to the new owner, my little niece, because today is her birthday. She turns 3 years old today. And we will celebrate this in the afternoon. And because it's Easter, we also have another family appointment. And I really wanted to share my blue rabbit with you because it's so heart jumping. So let's dive into it. The blue rabbit, she is here laying in the basket. I found it in the thrift shop yesterday. It was quite hard to find a good basket. And I think this is not as perfect as I wanted to be, but it's okay. Let me introduce the blue rabbit story. My little niece, she dreamed about a blue rabbit for quite some months now. Every time she woke up and she told her daddy and her mommy that she about a blue rabbit, which was knitted by Sarah, by me. And it was quite surprising because I don't love blue. I never knit rabbits or stuffies. We didn't understand how she came to the blue rabbit knitted by me. And it was also something I would never make because the blue and the stuffies, not my kind of thing. I will knit her a sweater, that's okay, but not those kind of things. A few weeks ago I was contacted by a Dutch little online shop owner, and she asked me if she could send me some a book, the beautiful liner book from Moosh and Friends. I forgot the designer's name, I'm sorry. And the materials to make a little the little lady Nana duck. And I was a bit doubting, because I really don't like knitting stuffies. And then I thought, okay, let's do it. I like to go out of my comfort zone every now and then, and this is coming along right now, so maybe just do it and see what it brings. They were supposed to organize a knit along, 2 Dutch knitters, a stuffy knit along, but it was cancelled, and I thought, okay, I will knit. I did receive the book and the materials, but I will save it for some later. But it was a little bit of a warming up for my stuffy knitting motivation. So when in that time my niece again dreamed about a blue rabbit knitted by Sarah, I thought, okay, I will make her a blue rabbit. So I searched for I searched for rabbit patterns on Ravelry, and I was really attracted by the top-down one-piece stuffies, because the sewing, all the parts together, was really not what I like doing. But then I found the Ravelry shop of Julie Williams. I think it's a lady from the UK. She has an Instagram and a blog too, but I didn't deep dive into it, so I don't know her story exactly. But she had a lot of stuffed animals, and there was a series which was called Little Cotton Rabbits. And they were adorable. I love the look of the rabbits, because there are a lot of rabbit patterns, and sometimes some are very beautiful and realistic, and some not, and some I did like and some not. But I loved the look of this rabbit. But what I loved more, the most actually, was the wardrobe of the rabbit. All the dresses and no, not skirts, all the dresses and pants and sweaters and shoes, they were so adorable. So I thought, I want to make that rabbit. But it was not in one piece, it was in pieces, and you must sew them together with a mattress stitch. All the things I don't like, I did. And it was very interesting, because it was not so hard as I thought it would be. The pattern was gifted to me by a Dutch knitter, so that was very lovely. It was a surprise in my Ravelry box, and I made a lovely blue rabbit. I don't own a lot of blue yarn, because I don't love blue, and I found a blue Let Lopey yarn in my stash, and it was Let Lopey in the color, I think, 1702, and it's called Milky Way, and it's a bit of a heathered blue color with some pink speckles, and it was really perfect for this. And again, not my favorite color, but it is Let Lopey, and that's my favorite yarn. And it was very good to knit the rabbit in Let Lopey yarn, because Let Lopey is very forgivable. I'm a loose knitter, I'm a relaxed knitter, I am a messy knitter. I need forgivable yarns in my knitting life. I knitted it on 2mm needles on DPNs. The pattern tells you to do it on 3mm, but because I'm a loose knitter, I thought I love the fabric of a stuffy to be stiff, to be not very flowy or loose. It can be steady. So it was perfect. And I knitted back and forth, and it was not really hard. I think you can even do it as a beginner knitter. Maybe you have to search for some technical things where you have increases and decreases. For me, the biggest challenge was keeping organized my track where I was. I had quite a big administration in my knitting book to keep track on my row count. That was really important to do that. That was the biggest challenge. And then sewing all the parts together with a mattress stitch. It was, I'm not a very neat sewer too, and I need some practice. So you can see it here. It's very obvious and not very neat, and also there. But quite soon I realized that this was not a process which I wanted to be my Miss Perfect involved, because then I wouldn't have fun anymore. I love imperfections too, and it's absolutely nice. And because of the Let Loopy, the rustic yarn, it was easier to accept the messy metre stitch at the back, for example. And I really love when I was stuffing. Oh, the stuffing is also a nice story. I really felt that I wanted to stuff my rabbit with wool. You also have that synthetic fiber fill. I don't love to use it. I wanted to stuff it with wool, but all my wool for stuffing was used up by my little girl for stuffing her things. So I had to order something, and I couldn't buy it in a shop around me. So I had to order, and I was looking for the right thing, and I didn't really know. But the only thing I did know was use good materials. There is so much difference between synthetic materials and woolly materials. It's the feeling, it's the warmth, it's the love. It's really, if you can go for natural materials, go for it. What I did have in my stash was a big pile of alpaca yarn for spinning. My mom bought it several years ago with the intention to spin some yarn from it, but it never happened, and it will never happen. I don't have spinning ambitions right now or in the near future. And then I thought, okay, I can use that for stuffing. And the fun fact is, it's dark brown. It's very dark brown, and I was a bit worried that it would shine through, but it didn't. Or maybe a little bit, but it's not annoying. And it was really hard jumping for me to know that the inside of my blue rabbit is dark chocolate brown. It was really, it's all about the balance, isn't it? So I filled it, and the pattern is so clear. All the instructions also for filling and shaping and also motivating. Julie meant several times that don't be worried if you need 3 tries to get the embroidery right, or just try it again. And she said, I do that all the time, several times. For me, I do that in all my knitting time. I need several tries, but it was really helping that it was also meant in the pattern. So I finished the rabbit, and when I was sewing it together and I felt the body, I really thought, oh, I love you. I love my knitting projects quite often, but this little animal, this little rabbit, felt so different from knitting a sweater or a blanket or a scarf or whatever. It touched my heart in a different way. I love it. I love it so much. Then I started on the wardrobe. Because I had the boy pattern with the sweater and the pants, I thought, okay, let's buy the girl pattern with the Dutchy dress. But then I found out Julie also sells different bundles of dress patterns. One with color work, I think, with stranded knitting, and one with textured patterns, and I chose the last one. It was a bundle with 19 options for dresses with textured patterns. The skirt is in one or another way textured with all the different, there's some lace, there is some pearls and whatever. I did start with several options of yarn. The rabbit itself is knitted with worsted weight yarn, and the clothes are knitted with fingering weight yarn, and I started with some fingering weight. It was a little bit, the color choice was hard because I have so many colors. When the rabbit would be brown, I had so many colors that would be lovely, but with this color it was not matching all the natural colors. So I found some fingering weight yarn and I tried, but that was too small. And then I tried some cotton, because Julie, she uses cotton for the clothes, but cotton is not forgivable and I didn't like it. And then I found a quite bright pink yarn in my stash, Rauma Finul. I used it as a contrasting line for the bind off and the cast off in my cast on in my Sparky sweater for a really bright detail. I thought it is quite heavy pink, bright pink, but it does match the blue of the rabbit. And Rauma Finul was for me the perfect yarn to knit the dress with. I love the woolly feeling of it. It was really, it's not so forgivable as Let Loopy is, but forgivable enough. I did knit the dress back and forth. The first time I did knit the skirt and around. She also describes how you can do it. but it was a bit difficult on the needles which I used for that. So the second time I thought just follow the pattern, knit back and forth and make a seam. The seam is not the neatest, but it's okay, it's a rabbit. But look at this little lady. Isn't she cute? This is the little dashes pattern and it's so easy, but just a lovely structure. Here you can see the knit is not very neat. The button is very sweet. And you can add a color too. I did crochet the color. There are options for crochet colors or knitted colors and I love that. It gives such a nice detail. I also bought the pattern for the removable shoes. Well, because I want to make her a pair of shoes and there are all kinds of options, but of course I fell in love with a little Mary Jane's. I didn't have a lot of color choice, so I chose for the bright pink again, and it was my plan to just make some plain Mary Jane's because I had no idea how the construction worked. But when I was knitting, I thought there was also a lacy Mary Jane's was also an option, and they were so cute. And I thought, okay, I want the lacy ones. It's so adorable. Look at those shoes. They are so adorable. With the lacy detail on top. It's really, really nice. And my friend, she had some lovely tiny buttons in the perfect color. It's so lovely. It's just a little lady. She is adorable. So when I finished this, I thought, I want more clothes. I want more. And I decided to make another dress. And I had also some of white, which would match the rabbit. And because I was a bit in a hurry, because the deadline was today, I chose quite an easy dress pattern with a lacy detail at the bottom. And it's so cute too. It's a bit on the short side, but that's actually quite lovely. The lacy detail at the bottom was very fun. You could also knit the whole skirt in the lace pattern, but because of my deadline, I chose for the easy peasy, quick stockinette knitting at the back. A little tiny button. I was also gifted by a lovely viewer of the podcast. And yeah, it's really, really adorable. My rabbit has two dresses. And then I thought I want to make some white Mary Janes too. But then I realized, oh, maybe it's fun when I add something else to her collection, to her wardrobe collection. So I thought, let's make a quick little cardigan. That's also a bundle I bought. There are also a lot of free options Julie has for you, but I have all the options for I can make everything. It was my plan to make a quick little cardigan, but the cardigan was really challenging because there was so much happening. The shape of the arms, it is top down in one piece, and the A-line. Again, I don't have a lot of color options, so I choose for the bright pink again. I will never use it again, I guess. Now the rabbit has a little cardigan too, and it really finishes her outfit. She is really looking quite nice and neat, and it's so lovely and so hard jumping. I did forget to add the button, but I think I will keep it this way. It's okay for me. And I actually don't have time to do that anymore because we have to leave within a few minutes. It's so adorable. She is so lovely, and I really love this little rabbit. Even the fact in this color combination, it is hard jumping already. How would it be when the rabbit was brown and the cardigans were all, and the wardrobe, the clothes were all natural colors? Ooh, I decided that I want to make my children. I have 3 children, 1 boy and 2 girls, and they are too old for playing with rabbits, but I really want to make them a rabbit and put them clothes on, and they can choose the colors. And when it's Christmas, I want to make them a Christmas dress and a Christmas sweater. I always love to learn life lessons from my knitting and crochet, and this was quite a big life lesson in several ways. One way was I had a very strong opinion that I really really disliked knitting with blue and also knitting a stuffy. I didn't. It was hard jumping instead, and that was quite a big contrast between what I thought about it and what I felt when I was doing it, and that was so interesting. I thought, what kind of things do I hate more in my life? And also I shared little videos on my Ravelry, on my Instagram, and someone commented, "Now your niece, see, you learn her dreams can come true," and that was also such a nice comment, which really touched my heart. It sounds quite sentimental, I know, but I love some good sentiment every now and then. I think that's a great gift when you can learn a child that dreams can come true. I'm a big dreamer myself too, and I used to ignore my dreams. In this part of my life, I more and more experience that my dreams can come true. That's really so satisfying and nice, and it's all catched in the Blue Rabbit. So dreams can come true. I really, really, really recommend the pattern. It was so much fun. I think I will add a rabbit hour on my knitting time each week or something. It was so much fun knitting. It felt like playing, and I enjoyed it so much that I can imagine that I want to give myself a few rabbit hours every week, or maybe a rabbit week every now and then, because I really need some rabbits in my life. Yeah. I will make a little girl very happy this afternoon, and I have to say goodbye to you. That will be hard, but you are at a good place. Bye bye. So the rabbit is at her new home now, and it was really, really fun to give it to my niece. It was so heart jumping to see her reaction. She was really happy with it, and she immediately started with putting the clothes, changing the clothes, and that was so much fun to watch. And it was even getting better, because this morning, in the early morning, my sister sent me a picture. Yesterday evening, when my sister went to bed, she just sneaked around the corner, and my niece was laying in her bed, sleeping a deep sleep, because celebrating your 3rd birthday is exhausting. And she was laying, and the blue rabbit was laying next to her, and her hands were around the rabbit's head, and it was looking so sweet. It was really heart jumping. I will not share the picture, but you must believe me, it was so adorable. It was really, really so sweet. And my sister is very knit-worthy. She really appreciates everything I make for her and my mom makes for her. But my little niece is definitely also very knit-worthy. It was so, so sweet, and I really feel motivated to add some little dresses and other little shoes to the Blue Rabbit's wardrobe. But I also feel very motivated to make a rabbit for in our house. My son, he was not, but my girls yesterday, they were both saying me all the time, "We want a little rabbit too." We wanted to, because it was so adorable. So there will be more rabbit knitting in the future. I did knit and crochet a little bit on other projects, especially in the late evening. It was a busy week knit-wise, because the rabbit deadline, but also social-wise. There were a lot of appointments, and it was quite, in the evenings I was quite tired. And then easy peasy, simple projects works the best for me. But I won't show them in this episode. It is a day off in the Netherlands for most of the people, and a lot of people are working in the garden and making noise, and lucky me, it's quiet now. I don't want to take the risk that there will be some noise again, so I want to keep this part of the episode as short as possible. I do want to tell you a little bit more about that little sweater, because I was wearing that yesterday, and that's really one of my favorite sweaters. It's a short sleeve sweater. I didn't use a pattern for it. I just made it up my own, so I'm very proud I can do that. I made it 3 years ago, I think. 2 years ago, 3. I don't remember exactly. And it's a yarn. I don't know exactly the name. It is from Lang Yarns, and it is what's it called? Lang Yarns Asia. It's a superwash merino with some silk in it, so it's feeling very nice and soft. And I especially love the fit of the sweater. It's really what I want. It's really a basic item, and I always feel very nice and comfortable and good in it. So it was my plan to play more in 2024 with my Sarasols, putting my Sarasols over projects, and it didn't happen really. I did play a lot this week with rabbit knitting, but that was not the kind of play I wished for, but it was also fun. The only thing I have to be aware of is that I don't fall into the rabbit hole of rabbit knitting now, because it's really, I watched on Julie Williams' Instagram account this morning, and it's all so lovely and adorable. But I also really want to finish my own projects, so I have to use my willpower and self-discipline to finish them, because I am still dreaming about all the new projects, new rabbits of course, but also all the summer and spring clothes. But I have some projects on the needles. There is one staying next to me. It's the ultra worsted cardigan. I have to finish the sleeves. I have 2 pairs of socks, and my Ariana cardigan is also quite close to finishing. I only have to crochet 1 or 2 triangles, and then I have to knit a ribbing, and then it's done. Do I have another? The other works are blankets, but I don't count them as actual works in progress, because I always have a blanket on the needles. I don't have to finish them before I will do a cast on party. So this week, I will participate to the next test knit of Rebecca from the Crayabea podcast. She's my weak spot, the Senna cardigan. So maybe I will start swatching for that one this week, because that's a test knit. That's a different kind of work. But this week I will mainly try to finish as much projects as possible, and I want to tell you all about that next week. So thank you for watching today. I hope you have a nice week with some nice knitting or crochet or whatever moments. And remember, if you can't find the heart jumping moments, create them. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye!